You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
After 30 days of fierce cricket, the Fort Lauderdale Lions find themselves in a must-win situation to qualify for the 2023 Minor League Cricket Championship playoffs. Welcome to Broward County Stadium, everyone. My name is Ryan Davis. The Fort Lauderdale Lions will host the Morrisville Raptors on the last game and the last day of the Southern Division season. After 30 days, the Atlanta Fire hold the lead in the standings, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions are 2 points behind the second place Lightning. Now, yesterday's match was rained out, so the Lions did not get a chance to gather 3 points, which would have tied them with the Lightning in hopes of overtaking them today in the last match. Now, because the game was rained out, both teams got a point, and now the Lions are within 2 points, one victory away of tying the Lightning, who sit quietly watching this match, hoping that the Lions slip up. Now the Morrisville Raptors, they sit in 4th position, no contention and no way of qualifying for the playoffs. They are looking to play spoilers. Just about a year ago, the Morrisville Raptors were the ones trying to get into the playoffs, which they did on the last day. And the Lions were the ones trying to play spoilers. Now the roles have switched. So the Lions, 2 points away, they must win. However, their strike rate is at a .225, while the Lightning, who are in 2nd position, have a net run rate of 1.27, which means the Lions not only have to win the match against the Raptors, but they must score at a tremendous rate to then overtake the Lightning in that net run rate, which will then get them into the playoffs. Simply put, there is no tomorrow for the Lions. They have to win, and win big against the Morrisville Raptors. Well, the Raptors have won the toss, and they've elected to bat. Just going off of the previous history, that has worked well for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, who do an excellent job of chasing when batting second. So the Raptors won the toss, they elect to bat, and we are now awaiting the fielders and the batters as they begin to take the crease. Stay tuned, we'll have the lineups as well as the opening bowlers and the first ball in only minutes. So we are back in Broward County Stadium in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Unfortunately, the rains came in yesterday evening rather, rained it out. Both teams ended up with a point. Like I mentioned, the Lightning sitting at 16 points, Atlanta Fire 13 points, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions at 11. So the Lions are 2 points away from the Fire, and they'll be looking to get a victory today. But not only get a victory, but score big and score quickly to get their net run rate over the hump and get them into the 2023 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunico. So the batters are coming to the crease. We will get the confirmation in a few minutes. And we have the reliable opener, Trevon Griffith. And he'll be opening with Sanjay Stanley. Sanjay Stanley was a part of this game a year ago at the Broward County Stadium. That match was a nail-biter. The weather interfered again, and the match was reduced to 14 overs. Fort Lauderdale Lions batted second rather, and won the winning runs with 3 balls to spare. So the Lions won this contest in 2022. And now the Raptors looking to play spoilers. You can see the wicket. It looks like glass. It's going to play through. The batters can play through the line of the ball, understanding that the Lions have to score a lot of runs to get their net run rate up. The wicket looks like a concrete strip that you'll find in your backyard. So the opening bowler for the Lions, Tagars. Sanjay Stanley on the non-strikers end scored 43 off of 34 deliveries versus the Galaxy 2 weeks ago. That was the last match the Raptors played. Their next 2 matches were rained out as well. So everyone in the Southern Division has been affected by the weather. So we are ready for the first delivery. It is Tagars, the opening bowler, bowling to Trevon Griffith, rather. Tagars coming from the southern end. This one is down the leg side. Well taken in the end. Is an appeal for caught behind and not given. So despite being down the leg side, it was very close to the thigh pad. So Griffith will try again. Tagars coming from the southern end. This outside off stump and driven beautifully. He played right through the line of the ball, and the cover drive worked to perfection. So Griffith off the mark with a 4. And so too the Raptors. There will be little to no room for error for the bowlers on this wicket. So Tagars to Griffith. And it's driving again, and this time through covers again. And it's going to be a repeat of the last delivery. No, it's not. Just short of the boundary. Batters come back for 2. So Griffith with 2 good-looking cover drives. First one was a boundary. Second one, 2. 6 without loss. Tagars to Griffith. This one is flicked off the pads and it beats the fielder. Just there in mid-wicket. So we're going to keep an eye on the run rate as the batters did scamper through for a single. Remember, the Raptors playing spoilers today. Fort Lauderdale Lions have to win this match to overtake the Atlanta Fire. And now Sanjay Stanley, who is in good form, 43 off of 34 the last time he took the crease. Tagars. This one is just on the top of off. Beautifully bowled. Round of applause by the fielders. Looks like it's Tucker Jr. who appreciates the delivery. So Tagars with the last ball of the first over to Stanley. Stanley just tries to whip it away. It's a huge appeal for LBW. Not out, says the umpire. Tagars can't believe it. And that is the end of the first over. It is 7 without loss after 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Welcome back to Broward County Stadium. 2023 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. And we have, from the commentary end, Achilles Brown, the 18-year-old Bayesian cricketer, right-arm medium. He's certainly one for the future. He's an all-rounder. Made his minor league debut this season. And he's bowling to Trevon Griffith, who the last time he took the crease with Stanley, Griffith scored 24th of 19 against the Galaxy. Here's Brown along the wicket to the left hand. It comes back inside and on the inside of the thigh. You can see the wicket, how flat it is, how shiny it is. It just skids on. And Brown is in some sort of pain here. Sorry, Griffin rather. Brown coming around the wicket to the left-hander, and it just comes off of the seam, comes inside, and looks like the fleshy part of the inside of the thigh, or maybe closer towards the groin area. It was a good delivery by Brown. And you can see the spirit of minor league cricket in full view. Getting some pumps from the fielders. Celebrating this sport in the US. The 3rd year minor league cricket has been around. These two teams have contested every year. The first year, the Morrisville Cardinals took the field in 2021. And that changed at the end of the season. And the Morrisville Raptors took over in 2022 and now 2023. Raptors, of course, making the playoffs last season. This year out of contention and trying to prevent the Lions from creeping in on the last day. Achilles Brown to Griffith. This one's down the leg side, and that's our first wide of the day. Brown to Griffith. This one is full, and Griffith just gingerly pushes it in the cover, gets a single. We saw a delivery like that in the first over where Griffith drove it through covers for 4. This time, you have to believe because of the knock on the inner part of the thigh, still in pain, he sort of second-guessed himself and just pushed it into cover for 1. Despite that, Griffith 8 off of 6. And Stanley will be taking strike. Last time the Lions took the field, Achilles Brown versus the Atlanta Fire. He had 3 overs, 2 for 25. No extras. Very tidy. Full of talent, the 18-year-old Bajan. Brown to Stanley. It's on a short and pulled away beautifully. It's going to, would it go all the way? We have a heavy outfield because of the rain yesterday. And it holds up. Seems to be for Tangerine Chandapol. Batters come back for 2. But the way Stanley got in position and comfortably pulled it through mid-wicket may not be the length that Brown wants to continue on. $11 without loss. Brown. This one is a little bit slower and it's caught deep at deep mid-wicket. The first wicket falls. The Lions get the breakthrough. Stanley beaten with his slower delivery and well taken out in the deep. The last delivery pulled through mid-wicket for 2. This one a slower delivery by Brown. Stanley had to reach for it and well taken out in the deep. So the Raptors lose their first wicket with the score of 11. Stanley departs for 2. It is 11 for 1. And Achilles Brown gets his first wicket of the day. So with the Lions coming into this match in a must-win situation after the rain out yesterday evening, they get their first wicket in the second over at 11 for 1. And it's the dangerous Sanjay Stanley, who had 43 in his last innings, now departs for 2. There's Omari Williams at mid-off, just throwing the ball back to Brown. Griffith having a quick word, still wincing for that knock on his inner right thigh near the groin area. And now we have Ryan Wiggins. He is certainly the best batter so far for the Morrisville Raptors. He's 16th in the standings in all of minor league cricket. 5 innings, 146 runs at an average of 29 and a strike rate of 107. Brown, Wiggins right on off stump. What a contest we have. The young, bright Brown against one of the leading batters in minor league cricket in Wiggins. So again, just outside off stump, and that was the best ball he's bowled so far. Achilles Brown, and the end of a very successful over, a wicket in it. 4 runs in the second over. It is 11 for 1 after 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Losing their first wicket at the hands of Achilles Brown, and we have Tagarce back into Griffith. Outside off stump, Griffith goes after him. He gets at the bottom of the bat with it hold. It's still in the air, and it's clear defense. So Trevor Griffith going after Tagarce. He scored 6 runs off of his 7 runs in the first half over after him. Goes after him again. Has got enough of it. Over the extra cover fence. And that is a maximum, a first of today. Score races on to 17, Griffith 14. And Tagarce proving to be expensive. First couple of deliveries were pitched up to Griffith from Tagarce in the first over. And Griffith had 2 incredible cover drives. This time Griffith just sort of anticipating the length, getting all of it and getting his first 6. Tagarce. This one is a better length. And they still get 1. Tagarce, last time he played 2 weeks ago against the Fire, very, very economical. 4 overs, 1 for 17, just 1 extra. Already he is 1.2 overs, none for 14. So Wiggins facing Vineet Tagarce. This one is right on off stump, and you can see Wiggins has the temperament of that new batter, just trying to feel his way out, understanding what the game needs. It's still early on. Morrisville Raptors were taken care of by the elements. Their last 3 matches were rained out. So no chance to contend in this Southern Division. Tagarce. This one is pitched up and whipped off the pads from Wiggins. Just the 1. So like I mentioned earlier, these 2 teams met on this very venue a year ago. And it was reduced to 14 overs because of the rain. And the Raptors scored 127 for 5. And then the Lions won it with 2 balls to spare at 129 for 5. So it's outside off stump. Griffin goes after him again. It's in the air. The man in the deep beats him. And that's another maximum. So when a player has your number or has measured you, it can be hard to adjust. And Vineet Tagarce having a hard time. Just went outside off stump. Griffith charging down the wicket and helps it over the cover boundary. Sort of inside out it for another 6. His second. He races on to 21 off of 9. 25 for 1. Tagarce adjusts his line and his length, and there's nothing Griffith can do with it. So that is the end of the third over, 25 for 1.
took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So Achilles Brown, who got a wicket in his last over, will continue from the commentary end. And this was right on middle stump, but nothing much Wiggins can do with it. Stump to stump bowling, they call it. And Achilles Brown, providing he has an extra bit of pace, catching Griffith on the inside of the thigh in his first over, the second over of the day. And now proving to be a handful for Wiggins so far. Once pitched up and Griffin goes after him. It was full. And this one is lifted over deep mid-wicket for 6. So as good as Brown has been, he overpitched just a fraction. And Griffith playing through the line of the ball. Looks like a golfer teeing off. And he gets his first 6. 31 for 1. Wiggins in his last outing versus the Fire 2 weeks ago had 11 off of 16 deliveries. Had a shaky couple of deliveries in this inning, but now is seeming to cut loose. Brown, much better delivery, just short of a length at corridor of uncertainty. $31 for 1. Wiggins facing Brown, and Brown checks his run. You can understand that with the amount of rain we had yesterday. Today's forecast in Fort Lauderdale, expecting showers at 4 p.m., but this game will be long wrapped up by then. Brown to Wiggins. This one's pitched up and Wiggins goes after him. It's high in the air. And we're going to find out from the fielder if that's a 6 or a 4. Umpire yet to confirm. It's a 6. Again, Brown pitching up. And again, Wiggins goes after him. Beautiful shape. Right, the backlift coming right over the shoulder. And with that, another 6 for Wiggins. He moves to 13. Scored 37 for 1. Brown to Wiggins. One comes back in off of the seam. Brown will do well to make Wiggins play off of his back foot on the offside. Anything full or anything he could get his wrist around on the leg side seems to be his strong points, Wiggins. Brown. This one's outside of stump and driven away. Well fielded in the end. But the batters should get one, and they do. Just going to check on one of the fielders there. Diving stop at cover. Here it is again. Brown just outside off stump. It was driven away, got his right hand to it, and you can see immediately he looks down. So at the end of 4 overs, it is 1 for 38.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
We are back in Broward County Stadium, and it's Kevin Stout, the captain. This one is right on middle stump. And they get 1. Now, interestingly enough, Kevin Stout, the all-rounder, 37 years young from Barbados, has decided to come. Looks like he's going to stay over the wicket to the left-hander. But Kevin Stout is now one of the best bowlers, the second best in the competition for 2023. Bowling his medium pace or slow medium. He's bowled 27 overs so far. 20 wickets of an average of 9.6 and given up 7.1 runs an over, leaving him second best in this competition. He has a 4-for and a 5-for. Certainly got the better of the Atlanta Lightning in the opening matches of this 2023 minor league cricket season by Sunoco by getting a 5-wicket haul. So a bit of a delay getting some water. It is a very, very warm in Lauderdale. It's 91 degrees. If you want to be specific about Fort Lauderdale, it is in the Lauderdale area. And the exit you would get off on Turnpike is the Sunrise exit. So 91 degrees. Trevor Griffith, 21 off of 10, has been the instigator from ball 1 against Vinny Tagaris. He's joined by Wiggins, 15 off of 11. On until the first wicket fell, Sanjay Stanley out for 2 in the second over off of the bowling of Achilles Brown, the 18-year-old Bajan. Caught him with a slow delivery, and he held out to deep mid-wicket for the Lions to get on the board. If you're just joining us, understand that the Fort Lauderdale Lions are in a must-win situation. This is the last match of the regular season games in the Southern Division. Atlanta Lightning are sitting pretty. And we're going to get confirmation. Yep. Atlanta Lightning, 16 points off of their 10 matches. It's won 7, lost 1, and 2 abandoned. Atlanta Fire, 10 matches, 6 won, 3 lost, 1 abandoned. Fort Lauderdale Lions, 9 matches, 5 won, 3 lost, 1 abandoned. If they win tonight, the Lions today, they tie on points with the Fire, but the Fire have a higher net run rate. So it all depends on how big and how much they score today, the Lions, if they leapfrog the Fire to get into the playoffs in the last match of the Minor League 2023 season presented by Sunoco. Morrisville Raptors had 3 matches abandoned due to weather. That really put them out of the race. They have 7 points from their 9 matches, 2 wins, 4 losses. So after a water break, it is 39 for 1. Just one delivery of Kevin Stout's over. Stout coming from the southern end. So no doubt Atlanta Fire and their fans will be looking on anxiously to see how the Lions perform. Each team got a point yesterday after it was rained out. Match was slated to start at 6 p.m. Torrential downpours, which is frequent at this time of the year in these parts. But now we have a lovely breeze. Still 91 degrees. And it feels like 100 degrees out on the pitch. So the players will welcome any sort of water break provided by the officials. So the umpire gives the okay. Kevin Stout will be bowling over the wicket to the left-handed Griffith, who's 21 off of 10. Oh, a beautiful delivery just outside off stump. The corridor of uncertainty. And yes, Griffith uses his feet well. But nothing much he can do with that. Stout just holding it back a bit. Just outside off, angling across the left-hander. Stout. Griffith. Oh, and the reverse sweep by the left-hander. And Kevin Stout, a little bit of a smirk. He's seen it all, Kevin Stout, at 37 years old. In minor league's first year, he played with the Florida Panthers from the Fort Lauderdale area, actually the West Palm Beach area. Florida Beamers, rather. And he didn't do well with the bat, only 62 runs in 5 innings. Had a high score of 40. Here he is to Griffith. Slower delivery, and Griffith just angles it to mid-wicket. Stout is laughing. The competition is on between those two. Consistent change of pace by Stout has him second in the rankings in minor league cricket. Reminds me of a Dwayne Bravo type player. It's not going to light the world on fire with his pace, but he has movement, consistency, and a constant change, constant variety of pace. Here's Wiggins. Outside of some, it's an edge and it falls just short. You can see the frustration by Stout. An inside edge. And that would have been the prize wicket of Wiggins had it carried. Wiggins just trying to remind Griffin that it's coming into you, into the right-hander, away from the left-hander. So the last delivery of what is turning out to be a consistent Kevin Stout performance. Just 2 runs off of it. Can Wiggins change that fortune? Oh, again, just holding it back. Batters come through for a single, and that'll be the end of the 5th over. It is 41 for 1 after 5.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So, change of bowling from the commentary, and Marvin Darlington, the Jamaican. This one bangs this one in short, if you want to see that for an off spinner. And he gets 1. This will be the last over of the power play for the Morrisville Raptors. Darlington, 34 years old. So, certainly an experienced bunch, the Fort Lauderdale Lions, between Stout and Darlington. Darlington known more for his hitting power. Played in the Washington Cricket League in 2015 and averaged 65 plus. Bowling, his economy rate is just about 6 runs and over. He's bowling to the left-handed Griffith. This one is banged in short again and pulled away. They won't mind these singles, the Lions, in the power play. The Raptors trying to be the spoilers. Again, a bit of an adjustment from the long on. Darlington to Wiggins. Beautifully bowled. That is the perfect line and perfect length for an off spinner. Just about a foot to 6 inches outside off stump. This one is on middle leg. And you can see just the consistency of pace from Darlington. No flight, just using that height and angle. This one's down the leg side, the sweep, and is an appeal as a drop catch, actually. There may have been some glove on it. Darlington is hands on hips. Not sure if there was any bat on it, but there was certainly a sweep from Wiggins. Hit the pad, that's for sure. It looped up to backward square and what would be an easy catch was dropped and resulted in 2 runs. So 45 for 1. Last delivery of the power play. Can Wiggins get a boundary? Banged in short and banged to cover. But well fielded in the end. A dot ball means the Lions hold the Raptors to 45 runs in the power play. We'll be back.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Kevin Stout to continue from the southern end. You can see the sun coming through as bright as can be in Fort Lauderdale. 91 degrees, feels like 100 on the field. More importantly, the match is starting before that rain period that usually comes around 4 p.m. Eastern time. Stout to Griffith, outside off stump, and that's the first wide by Kevin Stout. You can see the bit of embarrassment. And the wicketkeeper not too pleased. Here's Stout to Griffith. Again, just angling the ball away from the left-hander. But he's sort of rolling his fingers over the ball, Kevin Stout, just holding back some pace. Enough to throw Griffith's timing off. So, Lions in a must-win scenario. Stout, Griffith. This one is driven over cover and it beats the fielder. Overpitched by Stout and Griffith gives it the works. Another 6 to the left-hander. Kevin Stout just overpitching. Didn't vary his pace this time. It was consistent. And the opener pouncing on it. He moves on to 29 rather. And the 50 comes up for the Morrisville Raptors. After only 6.2 overs and a run rate of 8.21. So the partnership continues. Stout. And a late cut by Griffith. So Sanjay Stanley departed. He was the opening batter with Griffith. He out for 2. The score was 9 at the time. So these two have put on 41. Stout. Just flicking off the pads. Just the one. So 8 runs so far in the over after a very tidy first over by Kevin Stout that only gave up 3 runs. But he's had Griffith in all sorts of worries in the first over. He is again to the right-hander. Again, slanting it in. One more to the total. Just 1 year ago, the Raptors tied Atlanta Fire for the top spot in the Southern Division with 19 points. They edged out the Lightning to get into the playoffs. This time around, they're onlookers while the Lightning have won the Southern Division. And it's the Fire trying to hold off the Lions. This one up again. Just pushed along on. Chandler Paul is there. And that'll be the end of the 7th over. 55 for 1 after 7.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Marvin Darlington to continue. He's coming around the wicket to the left-handed Griffith, who's 31 from 19. Darlington, just checking his run-up, has been so consistent in his first over, just dropping it a little bit short to the batters. Here's Darlington again. This one is pitched up a little more. The Lions find themselves in this must-win situation, but the last 3 matches, they defeated the Fire with 3 overs to spare. As this one is whipped away by Griffith to long on. Just a single. The last 3 matches by the Lions, they defeated the Fire on September 4th with 3 overs to spare. Defeated the Royals on September 3rd with 9 balls to go. And then lost to the Fire after being put into bat. So they've had most of the success chasing. And the last time they've chased, they've won the last 2 matches while chasing. But not only do they have to chase, they have to score very, very quickly against this Raptors team to get their net run rate up. This one is pulled and it looks like an inside edge by Wiggins. So Darlington certainly slowing things down for the Lions. Darlington, Griffith. This one is driven off the back foot and it's the man out in the deep, just the one again. Just can't seem to get a read on Marvin Darlington. Trevon Griffith has hit 3 sixes so far in this innings. Can't get under the big Jamaican. This one is held back a bit and Wiggins puts his bat right through it and it's 4. He hit the cover off it, Griffith. Wiggins rather. A little bit of air by the Jamaican for the first time we've seen in his spell. And Griffith putting that foot down the track and getting those wrists right through the ball. 62 for 1. This one is shorter, as expected by Darlington. There's Tajireen Chandapal, certainly going to get his opportunity to continue his batting. And at the end of 8 overs, we are 63 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So a change of bowling from the southern end. Kevin Stout comes off after 2 overs. Was roughed up in his second. And we have the young Khan, Adam Khan, to bowl some wrist spin to Wiggins. First delivery, and it's right on the screws. Adam Khan, not easy for leg spinners to hit their marks or hit their stride from the first delivery, but he just did that. Khan, Wiggins. This one is tossed up, but still, Wiggins a little apprehensive. These two have now put on 54 for the first wicket, for the second wicket. And Wiggins goes after him. It's high in the air, and it's going to carry. Central Broward Park can't hold it. And Wiggins gets a maximum. Well, it looks like the umpire has changed that. It bounced. This one pitched up by Khan. Wiggins gets to the pitch of the ball. And that was cleared easily. And it was a 6, yep. So a maximum to Wiggins. He goes to 32. 69 for 1. And the second wicket partnership proving to be vital for the Raptors. Khan. It's driven again, this time straight over the umpire's head as long on comes across. And it's Vineet Tagaris, the opening bowler. How does Khan recover? Started with an excellent delivery to start his spell, then got hit for 6, gets a single, and now has to bowl to the left-handed Griffith. And the reverse sweep is in play, but backward point fields. So Maury Williams, the experienced minor league cricketer from the Fort Lauderdale area. Khan, another reverse sweep. This one beats the keeper, beats the stumps, beats everyone. Kevin Stout gives chase. So at the end of 9 overs, it is 72 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Welcome back to Broward County Stadium in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Lions in a must-win game. And it's Marvin Darlington to Wiggins, who's pulled this one through mid-on. But there's sufficient cover out there. It's Achilles Brown, who got the only wicket so far today, that of Sanjay Stanley in the second over. So Griffith and Wiggins, Griffith now facing 35 off of 24, has been the instigator so far today. This one is a huge appeal for LBW. Always looking like it was going to go down the leg. And the umpire agrees. Darlington to Griffith. Again, just a check of the run by the off spinner. Zachary Satur behind the stumps. This one down the leg side again, and this time it's a wide. And if there were any hopes for Darlington to get some sort of turn to somehow catch Griffiths behind his back, there is no chance on this wicket. It is glass they're playing on. Darlington. That is the line. That is the length he wants to live by. Down the leg side again. Another wide. Satur having a workout behind the stumps with the spinners. This one is pitched up and driven beautifully by Griffith. That cover drive / off drive. He just looks so comfortable, the left-hander. Darlington. This one's pitched up and Wiggins gets all of it. But just the one, a long one. So 5 runs so far in the over. One delivery remaining. Quick check of the field. Drives again comfortably. This time short extra cover holds it. And that's the end of the 10th over. It is 77 for 1. So Adam Khan with his leg spinners. Getting ready to bowl to Ryan Wiggins. Like we mentioned, 16th so far coming into this match in the standings of minor league cricket in batting. This one is cut away. Wiggins with an average of 29 has surpassed that. He has 35. And taking a look at some of these scores by Trevor Griffin. Here's Khan to Wiggins. So Googly comes back into him. Well played by the right-hander. So Trevor Griffith, 36 off of 28. Against the Atlanta Fire, had a 67 runs. This was 3 matches ago, with 6 sixes and 4 fours. So far, he has 3 sixes today. Griffith goes after it, and it's in between mid-off and Menard. But long on is there, long off rather. Just the one. So Trevor Griffith, that's 67 off Atlanta against Atlanta Fire, followed up by a 45 against Orlando Galaxy. No fours, but 3 sixes. So he can certainly hit them out of the ground, the left-hander. Here's Wiggins facing Khan. This one short and pulled away. Oh, and it's a misfield. Will it get to the boundary? It has. So a costly misfield at deep backward square. Gets Wiggins into the 40s. Just strained down the leg side. Whipped away. And straight between the wickets of the fielder. Score moves on to 83 for 1. Run rate at about 7.78. Khan. Here comes his sweep. There's a top edge. So the spinners are really hurrying the rate, the over rate between Darlington and Khan. I have to say the run rate has not been outlandish. Khan, Griffith, pulled away over extra cover, and it's going to be 4. Beautifully played by Trevon Griffith. And that'll be the end of the 11th over, but not before this left-hander gets into the 40s as well. It's just fractionally short. He rocked back onto the back foot. And the drive over extra cover gets him to 488 now for 1 after 11. So whatever net run rate the Lions were trying to achieve today is getting harder and harder as the Raptors are really getting stuck in. These two put on a great partnership against the Galaxy. They put on 91 against the Galaxy just a few weeks ago, with Griffin getting 45 and Wiggins getting 44. Here's Wiggins against Darlington. Is an appeal for LBW. Again, hit him on the back foot, but it was going down the leg. And Darlington it was again. Yes, it hit him on the back foot. We can see it was just about 6 inches outside of leg. So another single to Wiggins. Darlington, Griffith. This one is short and it's high in the air. It could be another one. They're pumping their brakes on the turnpike. It's a big hit by Griffith. Darlington, hands on hips, but it was too short. And the left-hander got into position so quickly, just pulling it over mid-wicket. Something you would see from like Chris Gale. So the score goes to 95. Darlington. And Griffith in full control. $96 for 1. Wiggins on 41. Wiggins goes after him. Protection at long off. It's Tangerine Chanderpaul in the deep. So these two put on 97 2 weeks ago against the Orlando Galaxy, and here they are again. Griffith again, just outside off stump. They've put on 89 so far for the second wicket, and that is the end of the 12th over. It is 97 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Adam Khan thought he was going to bowl his third over. He's now 2 overs, none for 20. But there's going to be a bowling change on the southern end. So we're waiting on confirmation to see who's going to replace Adam Khan. Looks like it's Ryan Passad. Again, this time a tall spinner. So a change of bowling from the southern end. Wiggins 42 from 35. And this one has a lot of bounce, but pulled away and is caught. A beautiful catch in the deep. A shortish delivery, but with the height, meant that Wiggins couldn't get over it. And he's held out to the man at the deep, in deep mid-wicket. First delivery. And Wiggins has been caught. So the second wicket falls for 97. And the Lions get a valuable breakthrough. It's Raja, the bowler, Isaiah Raja. His added height was all the difference. And Wiggins, caught with that bit of extra bounce, couldn't get over it, and a good catch out in the deep. So Wiggins departs for 42 off of 36, 97 for 2. Going to have a quick little water break as it feels like 100 degrees out there on the field. Going to get the confirmation of the new batter coming in. So you can't get a better entrance than that from Isaiah Raja. Dropping it just a fraction really short, but with that 6-foot frame, the bounce was enough to throw Wiggins off and get the prize wickets. Not before These two put on 88 for the second wicket. So the new batter is none other than the wicketkeeper batter, Hanchard Hamilton, who sits permanently at that number 4 position. Hamilton's last outing against the Galaxy, he scored 12 off of 19. And Raja now with a wicket and a dot ball to his name is Raja. This one is pulled away. Looks like he got some bat onto it, Hamilton. And they're going to come back for 2. Check that. They come back for 3. All run. Well done by Hamilton and Griffith. So 3 more to the total means the Morrisville 100 comes up. And it has come off of 12.3 overs. Just under a run rate of 8. So the main scorer, Griffith, gets closer to that half century, gets a single, goes to 49. So they score now 101 for 2. So just to confirm, Hamilton did get a piece of that and is off the mark with 3. Isaiah Raja coming into the left-hander with his leg breaks. And Khan getting a workout again at deep mid wicket. And 2 more to the total. Actually, just the 1. So what an entrance by Isaiah Raja. A wicket in his first delivery. And so far, just 5 off of his first over. 1 more ball remaining. Oh, and he beats Griffith. All ends up. And that is the end of a successful over for the Lions. A wicket off of it. 102 for 2 after 13.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards?
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Amari Williams coming from the commentary end, bowling to Hamilton, who cuts away just behind point, looking for an overthrow. It's not there, just the 1. Amari Williams, the all-rounder, has been with the Lions since the inception of the minor league cricket in 2021. Plays in these parts in Fort Lauderdale. This one is short and punched away by Griffith, and that's going to be his 50. Comes back for 2. He goes to 51. A fantastic innings by the opener. Following up that 67 against Atlanta Fire a few weeks ago. He's been in great form and has anchored this innings so far. 51 off of 36. This one is short and punched away. Came off the shoulder of the bat. I don't think Griffith expected it to be that short. Caught him by surprise. Williams to Hamilton. Hamilton is back and across and punches it again. Good technique, good shape. Williams, this one is short again. This one is off the toe of the bat. Seems to be banging in them short, Williams, and is catching Griffith. Just can't seem to get a read on the off spinner. Williams to Hamilton. Just pushes it for a single. So no boundaries in Williams' first over, but he gives up 7. It is 109 for 2 after 14.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So, looks like rain has come into Fort Lauderdale and the stumps are off. We're going to have a bit of a rain delay. We will keep you informed on what the umpires decide. This match was rained out yesterday. We're already into 14 overs, which means a second innings can be played with a shortened over in the second innings. So we will keep you tuned on what the umpires decide as the rain's coming into Fort Lauderdale. As of now, Morrisville Raptors 109 for 2 after 14. Griffith just got his 50 at 53 off of 38. And we'll be back to give you guys some information on when the players expect to come back out in the field. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.